much, Chairman. Chairman, members of the committee, hello. My name is Mikayla Arciaga. I'm the Advocacy Director for IDRA. We are an independent, nonpartisan education policy and research nonprofit. We are here I'm here to speak in opposition to SB 446. I have a plenty long speech to tell you about what our issues are with it, but the first is that this program has no cap. I heard that we've said that it's not going to cost the state any dollars, but conservative estimates about the cost of this program have fallen between $21 and $51 billion. We know, and I believe the body knows, that these dollars are a finite resource. Our public schools have already been subject to over $100 million in federal cuts, and we're anticipating more for our most vulnerable communities. Those are dollars that the state could and probably should make up for in our budget, because it's things like rural schools, kids living in poverty, kids with disabilities that would otherwise have received those dollars. Another thing is that this decision to opt in and now permanently commit to this program was made unilaterally. And again, we're talking about potentially billions of dollars in public tax revenue. And if we're going to make an election into a program of that magnitude, we should require meaningful public input. We should require your legislative review and rigorous evaluation of the fiscal impact and student incomes before we commit to something every single year. And again, I just want to emphasize this specific committee has worked very hard to increase accountability and transparency for the program, which is identical to this the state already runs, which you have referenced. The way the federal program is organized would allow these SGOs to collect 10% of the admin fee off the top of all of their donations. You all currently limit that to 5%, and you and the House have passed amendments in the past which would attempt to limit that to 3%, which is even lower. You would not have the oversight to regulate this program if we pass this in this way, because we have to align with federal standards. I also just wanted to address the last issue with Cristo Rey. On lines 89 and 90, SGOs are limited to providing scholarships to 10 or more eligible students who do not all attend the same qualified school or program. So I do think you would have, you're not necessarily creating the same amount of access that I think some of you may be hoping for, and we definitely do not think that that impact will be well distributed. I can share a map with you. We've mapped all of the participating private schools in the state right now, and overwhelmingly these schools are concentrated in our metro and urban areas, and we are seeing funds being diverted away from our rural schools who are overwhelmingly dependent on state and federal funds as opposed to local funds. Again, while this is not necessarily immediately or directly coming out of the state's coffers, it is the state who is going to bear the cost of these needs for our schools and our schools systems that do not have the same resources as our metro and urban areas. So we would encourage you to certainly amend this, but ideally just oppose it outright.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.